to live together after God's ordinance in the holy estate of matrimony, wilt thou love her, comfort her, honour and keep her, in sickness and in health, and forsaking all other, keep thee only unto her, as long as you both shall live?
I will.
Joan Ann, wilt thou have this man to thy wedded husband, to live together after God's ordinance in the holy estate of matrimony? Wilt thou love him, comfort him, honour and keep him, in sickness and in health, and forsaking all other, keep thee only unto him, as long as you both shall live? Would you all please be seated while John...
Beneath the vast African sky, where mountains rise, lives an African queen with deep brown eyes. Her gaze, a tender whisper of the earth, echoes the ancient songs of love and birth. Her smile, a radiant dawn, ignites the day, chasing the night shadows far away. In the countryside where wildflowers bloom, her laughter mingles with the breeze's tune. Majestic mountains stand guardians proud, kissing the heavens cloaked in nature's shroud. They frame her grace, a scene of pure delight, her presence a beacon in the dusty twilight. I miss her in the whispers of the leaves, in every dawn that the horizon weaves. Across the plains, through time's endless sea, she is the muse of every waking dream. Her love, a river flowing without end, bends with the earth yet cannot ever bend. Through time's vast expanse, our hearts entwined, a love so deep to eternity confined. O African queen with eyes so profound, in your embrace the world's beauty is found. Though mountains and valleys may lie in between, my love for you remains ever serene.
Wonderful.
Beneath the
that love won't be returned, only to be pleasantly surprised. Love happens differently for everyone, but John and Joan's story gave me an understanding of love that surprised me and inspired me, and that is relevant for us all, and one that I will share with you now. The story starts before they met, with a journey that had more than its fair share of pain. They both experienced traumatic relationships, both experienced broken faith, they both experienced childhood rejection. And so, as they came together, they were both weighed down with a legacy of hurt that made them fearful of loving again. On top of this, there was also physical distance. John in the UK and Joan in South Africa. So as well as dealing with complicated feelings, they had to navigate a long-distance relationship. But despite these challenges, here we are, celebrating this beautiful day. Love, backed up by John's relentless determination, found a way. John tells me of how they would spend a whole day together, cooking, gardening, riding on a motorbike. It came as a shock to realise that they did all of this virtually via Zoom. Imagine how much you want to be with a person to have a Zoom call on a motorbike. He also told me of how much he missed her, so much so he was crazy with it. Writing long love poems. Who does that anymore? I mean, wow. And Joan. She jokes that it took 3 words from me to help her make up her mind about John. Women, we know, you have to kiss a lot of frogs before you find your prince. And sometimes it feels like the frogs outnumber the princes 10 to 1, right? But I know John. I know him to be smart, energetic, full of energy and vision. More importantly, John is the epitome of commitment. He's the proverbial needle in a haystack. So that day, when Joan asked my advice, I leaned in and I said these 3 words, which she tells me changed everything. I said to her, he's a keeper. And ultimately, they both arrived at a pivotal moment, a moment when they surrendered to love. I give in to this. Yes, I've been hurt before. I'm fearful, but my feelings are bigger. I want to trust. And this is the realization I mentioned at the start of this speech, something that John and Joan's story taught me about love. Isn't it true that when you've been hurt and no longer trust love, but find a love deep enough to cast all that aside, isn't that a stronger, surer form of love? Isn't it the case that love that's fought for, that overcomes the past and is tested by doubt but endures anyway, isn't that actually true love? And here they are, dwelling in the peace of this beautiful farm, exploring and reveling in what they finally gratefully embraced. They mess about and laugh like silly children with no fear of judgment. They respect each other's space without neediness or vulnerability. They share those special, comfortable silences. They hold each other and dance on their sunny front porch, distrust melted away, replaced by that rock-solid certainty when you have not only love, but true friendship. Joan said to me that finding John felt like finally coming home. And so we reflect on the powerful words of Corinthians. And John and Joan's story grows profoundly from that message. Love doesn't care about regrets, things that you dwell on, dreams that have slipped away, if only I did, if only I didn't. Let them go. Love will help you find a new dream. Love doesn't care how old you are. Love doesn't see your age. It only sees your beauty. And people say it's too late to find love. It's not true. Don't give up. And I wrestled with how to convey the ultimate lesson I learned from John and Joan's story. And the idea I had was, when you hear a loud noise that suddenly stops, the silence that follows is deeper, isn't it? So from John and Joan, I realise that peace after turmoil is peace indeed. And trust after trauma is trust indeed. And love that restores our faith where it was lost before, surely that is love indeed.